Hello, this is The Point of View. It's your favorite current affairs show on television. It's live on City TV. My name is Bernard Avle. Here on The Point of View, we get the right guests. We ask them the relevant questions on issues that matter to you. It's an interactive show. If you are watching on TV, there's a WhatsApp number on the screen. Please let us hear from you, particularly if you're a teacher or you're in the educational sector, because a nationwide strike has been declared by the three main teacher unions. We are told we have almost 300,000 teachers in Ghana. They say they will not go back to the classroom until the arrears are paid. Tonight we're going to hear them out. And we're also going to hear government plan to deal with them, all on the same program. Stay with us. So a few of the teachers have been getting in touch with me. I've received a few emails. Maybe I'll share some with you during the show, complaining that since 2012, since some of them were employed, the arrears have not been dealt with. They were paid only 3 months arrears and abandoned to their fate. The NPP promised to pay, and therefore they are holding the NPP to its word. I have in studio the head of compensation and working conditions at the largest teacher union, Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, is in the person of Ahina Kwakwashi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So apart from NAT, of course, there's NAGRAT and CCT. All three are on strike, working from the same side. From government, I have the head of public relations at the Ministry of Education, Vincent Esifua, also with us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm well, thank you for coming.
It's been a tough day.
I know, and it hasn't ended yet.
Absolutely.
Maybe just pay them so that everybody will go back and sleep. So, Mr. Kwashi, you are the head of compensation and working conditions at NAT. I didn't know any position like that existed, meaning that you deal with pay issues for the teachers.
Yes.
I see. So what's the problem? Why are you on strike?
We are on strike because of our legacy arrears.
Legacy arrears?
Yes, we call it legacy.
Dating back to when?
From 2012 to September 2016.
2012? Meaning what, people were employed but not paid? Or what do you mean by arrears?
People were employed, but they were not paid the same month that they were recruited.
So they were teaching without pay?
So they were teaching without pay, some as far as 24 months, 36 months, 30 months.
Really?
And then the policy was that if they were going to pay, then they only have to pay you that particular month that the salary is coming, plus 3
extra months.
Then the rest, you will have to go to the nearest GS office and fill some forms, attach the relevant documents, including your appointment letter, date of assumption of duty, and all sorts of things, and then forward them to GS head office. Then they will transmit to Ghana Audit Service for them to do validation. You know, these things started somewhere, I think, in 2016.
Hold on. So between 2012 and 2016, a number of teachers were employed by the then government.
Yes.
Then they were not paid, some for a year, some for 2 years, some for 3 years.
Exactly.
No salary.
No salary.
So how were they looking after themselves?
That is a question that the individuals will have to answer for themselves.
So are you saying all new teachers below tertiary who were employed between 2012 and 2016, or some?
See, that is some. You see, during that time, once you recruited, for example, if you come out of the College of Education and then you are given an appointment letter, it takes more months before you are put on the payroll. And that created that problem. In fact, there were some issues in connection with Minister of Finance saying that those people were recruited without financial clearance. Yes, we agree. But the district directors who recruited these people, they were teaching Ghanaian children, right? They were teaching Ghanaian children, so they deserve to be paid.
Who was to do the financial clearance?
No, the financial clearance will, somewhere along the line, Ministry of Finance came out with a policy that they can't do a recruitment without financial clearance. So it means that GES will have to do its work well and then send the request to Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Finance will then give the approval for them to do the recruitment before they are done.
How many teachers were affected by this non-payment of salary due to non-completion of financial clearance?
It was over 120,000.
120,000? Between 4 years?
Yes.
120,000 teachers.
120,000.
Are you
In fact,
serious?
some included promotions, some included. In fact, we tagged them into 3 groups. There were upgrading and promotions. We had recruitment and appointments. Then there was another one. I think re-engagements and reinstatement also. These were the 3 categories.
So some were recruited fresh, some were promoted, but the new salary didn't reflect because of no clearance.
Exactly.
Some who had gone on maybe study leave and come back and re-engage.
Yes.
Also no
all
clearance.
Sort of things, yes.
Between 2012 and
Between
September
2012
2016.
and September 2016.
Do you have an idea of the amount of money due them if we put all the money together? Have you done that calculation?
I cannot be able to give you that figure now.
All right. But you have 120,000
We have
people.
120,000. Even that figure, if you ask GIA, they themselves cannot even tell you the amount involved. And that was the more reason why government at that time said, fine, if we are going to pay, then audit service will have to come in to do the audit.
To be sure that we
To
are
be
paying
sure-
human beings and not goods.
Exactly.
So who decided that they were going to pay only 3 months?
It was a letter from the Ministry of Finance.
When?
I think that was on 4th November 2013. It was a general policy for all the public.
4th November 2013.
Yes.
That they were only going to pay 3 months.
3 months.
No matter how long you had worked. Even if you worked for 36 months.
Exactly.
They'll pay you the month you get your salary plus 3
Then
extra
you
months.
go to your office call center, a call center, then fill those forms, attach the relevant documents to it.
And collect 3 months.
No, they will pay you the 3 months first. You understand?
They'll pay your
Then
salary
once they
in 3
pay
months
you,
arrears.
Good. Once they pay you, then you go back and then fill those forms. They call it it's a template they design. So you indicate all those things on it. Then you attach the relevant documents, including your appointment letter, date of assumption of duty, and all those things. Plus, I think IPPD input forms also. Then Ghana Audit Service will then do the audit before they will approve of the number of months that government owes you. Then they will then submit it to Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance will forward it to controller for the payment.
And you agreed to that at the time?
You see, at that time, we resisted. But around 2013, 2014, when that policy came, government itself had issues with its finances. So the World Bank, that was the time they were going in for that extended credit facility. So we challenged, and we told them that these ones, they are payments that you are only deferring. And
Who was the finance minister at the time?
2013, I think it was Mr. Setekpe.
Mr. Setekpe.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting. So, as we speak, I'm trying to sort of get the background. I'll come to you. So, as we speak, how many of those 120,000 people have had their arrears paid?
As far as we are concerned, we are left with over 30,000 to be paid.
You are left with how many?
Over 30,000 to be paid.
Oh, so you mean they pay about 90,000?
Yeah, close.
So
to
why are
that
you on
figure.
strike?
Oh, my brother.
If you are owed between 4 years of 120,000 people, and they've paid,
It's a long journey we have started with
and
since
they've paid
2016.
90,000, so you have 120, you have 30,000 left.
So why should we carry this on forever and ever? People have worked. You don't want to pay them?
Oh, Master. Okay. I mean, from
You
what
don't
you've
want to
explained
pay
to
them.
me, they've paid. When did they start paying the 90,000?
They started, I think, somewhere in 2016.
And they've paid to 90,000, left with 30,000.
Yes.
And the last 30,000, you say you understand, so you go on strike.
Why? You see, it is
But
not
they've
that-
shown good faith. They've paid you 90. They've paid 90,000.
Listen, Bernard.
Yes.
Bernard. So have you? I believe you are a Christian.
I believe I am. Yes, I am.
That shepherd who took the 100 sheep
And left
for
one.
pasture.
Yes.
What did Jesus say?
Well, he said there was joy because they brought the final one.
As for the 90, there's no problem about that. But that last one, then you go and look for it.
I see. So you are using the biblical example.
So if I paid 90,000, that 30,000, we should.
Okay. So this is a good background. What he said in terms of how the arrears came about Is that government's understanding of how this whole thing started? That between 2012 and 2016 September, a lot of people who were recruited were not paid, and then later on they were given this idea that we'll pay you a month plus 3 months, and then you sign some document. Is this government's understanding of the background, Mr. Esefua?
Bernard, let me say a very good evening to you and to your cherished viewers, to my senior colleague. My initial comment is that the strike that has been declared by the teacher unions is very unfortunate. And I'll tell you why. You don't call for a strike. That is number one, illegal. You fail to go through the proper processes as per the law, the dictates, the letter and spirit of the law, as it says per the Labour Act, without recourse to that particular law.
Which law is this?
The Labour Act. You have to call for a strike by getting approval or by, as it were, exhausting the internal remedies with the Labour Commission before you can call for a strike. In the absence of that, ab initio, it is illegal. Number two, from 2012 to 2016, as he clearly indicated, the past administration was owing about 120,000 teachers or staff of the Ghana Education Service. Now, all these teachers were recruited without proper procedural processes in recruiting them. And when I say proper procedural processes in recruiting them, I mean without financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance. So ab initio, every administration or any government would have said that I will not pay for these teachers. And it wouldn't have been illegal.
But who employed them?
From 2012 to 2016, it is the Ghana Education Service that employs or engages teachers.
So they're working for the state?
Absolutely.
Yet the government said that the state agency that oversees education, which employed the teachers, did not do the right thing. Yet they didn't ask the teachers to be sort of...
So that was the point I was coming to. That after engagements with the relevant stakeholders from 2017 till now, in fact, the decision was taken in 2017 when they decided that they will put a humanitarian basis or front to this whole issue. And for that matter, they decided to pay them. As he rightly said, these are Ghanaians who are teaching Ghanaian children. And for that matter, we should allow things to pass. So I was expecting that the teacher unions, when they were calling for their press conference on Thursday, would rather thank this particular administration for how far he has been able to bring about this debt. Because as he rightly indicated, if we owe about 120,000 staff, legacy debt because we inherited these debts, it is by no fault of ours. Indeed, government is a continuum. But by no fault of mine, I have to cough money from wherever I can to pay for these teachers. It may not be part of my budget. It may not be part of my anticipation as far as my spending is concerned. But because these debts are there, I need to pay them. And that is what this particular administration decided to pay. Now, in doing so, we expected that if out of the 120,000, we have paid 90,000, it shall or it should not warrant a strike declaration from the teacher unions because we have about 300,000 teachers across the country. You are indirectly, or if you like directly, telling us that the 270,000 that are not owed should also stay out of classroom.
So only 10% of teachers are owed.
And I'm finding it very difficult to understand the rationale for calling for this strike. Because why do you tell your teachers not to go to the classroom to go and teach just on the basis that there are about 30,000 that are owed, especially when the Ghana Education Service Management have shown that clear-cut commitment in paying them. And when I say clear-cut commitment, I'll tell you why. The Controller and Accountant General Department on the 9th of November gave indications or gave a data to the management of the Ghana Education Service. Now, in that data, the management of the Ghana Education Service decided to do some verifications or to do some validations. Now, in the validation, they realized that there were some anomalies that will have to be dealt with, because if those anomalies are not dealt with, it means that government was going to spend in excess of about 11.3 million Ghana cedis. And that is a cost to the nation's purse. So the management of the GES decided that why don't they engage the teacher unions, and this engagement happened on the 2nd of December. Whether directly or in a subtle manner, they agreed that management of GES should go ahead with the vetting. Because, of course, I don't think that the teacher unions would have posited that management of GES should not, go through the vetting when taxpayers' monies are going to be spent unnecessarily on that. Because if you have people who are not having any recourse at all with the management of Ghana Education Service, yet their names have been given by the Controlling Accountant General Department for payments to proceed, then of course it is important that we go through that vetting, that validation, then payment will be made. And in fact, in that meeting, I got the impression that the management of the Ghana Education Service was supposed to pay the teacher unions by Christmas. If you have been met on the 2nd of December.
This year?
Yes, this year. That's last week.
Last week?
Yes. And whether you agreed to the terms and references or the engagement that happened in the meetings or otherwise. Under no circumstance can anybody convince me that you never had a precondition or you never had your own decision in your pocket before coming to the negotiation table when you called for a strike on the 5th of December. It was just 3 days interval. On
the 2nd, when you met them, what did you tell them?
Assuming without admitting that we told them that we were going to pay by Christmas. And we also decided, or we told them that the data that has been given by the Controlling Accountant General Department will have to be vetted. Assuming, if not a decision that was made or agreement.
So it was a promise.
So I'm saying that, I'm saying that it was an agreement. But if I want to go with what you are saying, that we told them, are they saying that...
And this is 2nd December?
Yes.
And then by 3 days later, they call a nationwide strike.
So by inference, they are trying to say that they have no trust for the management of the Ghana Education Service.
Is it true that you had a meeting on 2nd with them?
Bernard.
Yes.
He has mentioned 2 dates here. One was 9th November 2019. That was when Controlling Accountant General Department gave them that data for a review. And it's a normal practice. Even when they are going to pay salaries, there's something we refer to as test run. So after the test run, they give that result to the MMDAs for them to verify, to find out exactly whether it is the right amount of money that they are supposed to pay. They gave them this data on the 9th. I was called by the IPPD coordinator on the 15th. And when I went to the office, I saw a number of teachers who had been invited. That was around 6:30. A number of teachers who had been invited, and they had asked them to bring copies of those same forms that were verified by Ghana Audit Service. Then I asked, what was the reason? Then he said, controller had given them a data, but they have some challenges with the data. Then I said, fine. So go through that data, and those that you have challenges, separate them or segregate them from those without any challenges, and then ask controller to effect the payment. From 15th November up to today, which is 9, is it not 1 month? What kind of analysis that you are doing?
But 15th November, you said you met on 3rd December.
Yes, I'm saying the data was given to them on the 9th. He has mentioned that.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I was invited to that place on the 15th, which is about 5-6 days. And he told me that he had found some anomalies, like he's saying. Then I said, fine. Is it the entire data which has the anomalies? Or few of them? So segregate those with the anomalies.
And pay the ones which are okay.
The ones which are okay.
But they didn't do that.
But if they had
So
done
your
that,
problem is that because from 9th November...
You see, that was not... He was talking about commitment. Because the person who did that thing, this thing, I'm saying it has gone through a certain process.
Good. So 9th, you get this data.
You get
15th,
the data,
they meet you and tell you that some of the data has problems.
Has problems. And
so
now from 15th up to date, you have not been able to resolve the problem.
So when you met them on the 3rd, or no, on the 2nd, what did you tell them?
The second that meeting, I was not there, so I don't know exactly what happened.
But your people were there.
Yes,
I was. Or are you the only person who can talk for the NAT on this matter? As in, you are the authority because you are head of compensation and working.
I'm saying, see, he's talking about the second meeting, and I'm saying the second meeting, I was not at that meeting, so I can't speak. But
were your members in that meeting?
You see, I was not even there. How can I know?
Oh, but you have.
Yes, but the point I am making is that if even our members were there, what was their results?
No, but my concern is you are teacher unions with concerns. What position did you take into the meeting? Because the people represented you on...
That second meeting, it was a meeting for... Because we had then attended another meeting, I think the previous Thursday. I've forgotten the date. That was in November and the other 29th or so. We attended that meeting, and that was the meeting that they were still talking about the anomalies. Then I said, how? They have given you a data almost 3 weeks. If there are anomalies, correct them and ask Controller to effect the payment. You understand?
So was it that the 30,000 were getting agitated, that Christmas was coming, they are not being paid?
See, but before that, we had a meeting, I think somewhere in late August or early September, where we have come up with the roadmap. And the roadmap was that they were going to work on these things and then pay the legacy arrears after they have paid October salaries. So they will prepare a supplementary preview and pay by middle of November. So Controller did what is right. On the 9th, they send them, 9th November, they send them the data. Look through, give them the green light for them to effect the payment. Then today is 9th December. They have not done it. Then there's another batch of arrears, which was created also from October 2016 to December 2018. And that was also to be worked on and paid after they have paid their November salaries, to be paid middle of December. And because the first one has not been paid, that one has also not been worked on.
So for you, the commitment to the roadmap was not there?
You see, Controller has done that thing. They have given you to the employer GES. So if you want us to be paid, you will pay. Why should you delay?
So your strike was to show your dissatisfaction
with the way GES has handling the arrest issues.
We'll come back with more. This is the point of view. We are trying to understand why teachers are on strike. 300,000 teachers in Ghana, 30,000 of them have arrears unpaid. Government had paid at least 90,000 of the teachers. Mr. Vincent Isifua doesn't understand for his life how this strike even came about. But the NAT head of compensation, Mr. Kwashi, is explaining why they are upset. When I come back, I'm going to continue the discussion. I have 2 very interesting emails I got today. In fact, one of the emails I got, the lady sent me an email first in 2014, and she's been consistently sending me emails about her arrears, sending me the amount she's being owed. And I also had a report from parts of the country on whether the strike is working or not. If you're a teacher watching, tell us what you make of this discussion. Do you support the strike of the NAT? Do you believe in government that they will pay? Let's hear from you. Stay with us.
What you're seeing is not an accident. It's not an accident that this girl passed away before she graduates and finds success. This is a loss caused by speeding. Don't exceed the speed limit. It's 30 for a reason.
The Bank of Ghana has introduced 2 new high-denomination banknotes, a 100 Ghana cedi banknote and a 200 Ghana cedi banknote. This is to facilitate economic transactions by reducing the burden associated with carrying large volumes of cash. The 200 Ghana cedi banknote retains the Big Six portrait in front, with the back image as the Jubilee House and its surrounding fence wall. The new security features are motion surface stripe security thread that runs from top to bottom at the front of the banknote. The upper and lower part of the stripe has a three-dimensional image of the Jinyame Edinkra symbol moving above an apparently deep background. The middle part of the stripe features the state sword. The second feature is a shiny color-changing image of the Edinkra symbol Jinyame at the front lower left corner of the banknote. When the note is tilted, a shiny bar moves up and down on the symbol, and the color changes from gold to green. The 100 Ghana cedi banknote also has a Big Six portrait at the front, with a back image as the Chamber of Parliament. The new security features are motion surface stripe security thread that runs from top to bottom at the front of the banknote. At the upper and lower sections of the stripe is the Edinkra symbol of strength in a three-dimensional form, moving above an apparently deep background. The middle part of the stripe shows the Parliament maze, which depicts the bird on the maze appearing to flap its wings when the note is tilted. The second feature is a shiny color-changing Edinkra symbol of strength at the front lower left corner of the banknote. When the note is tilted, a shiny bar moves up and down on the symbol, and the color changes from gold to green. Know the security features of the banknotes. Keep the cedi clean.
Welcome back. This is The Point of View. Tonight we are trying to understand why teachers are on strike. They have arrears owed them since 2012. There were 120,000 teachers. The government has paid 90,000 of them. But the teachers have not been happy with the way the GS in particular has handled the payments. Let me share something with you. So on May 2, 2014, I got an email from a listener called Florence. Hi, Bernard. I'm a teacher who called on your program on Thursday, 1st May 2014. And raised issues about my salary not being paid for 17 months. I heard you say someone says I'm lying. My name is Florence. She gives her surname. I will protect her. I won't mention her surname. I completed UEW in 2012. I was posted to Abetifi Presby SHS September 2012. You can ask someone to come to the school to find out. My documents are still in Koforidua GES. This is my phone number. Then she gives it. Then I reply, thanks Florence, I'll get in touch. Don't worry with that long reply. Then she gives a reply, thank you Bernard, I'm grateful. You will be saving me if you help. God bless you. Then she sends me another email on May 10, 2014. Bernard, I had a call from my school administration that they are to bring names of teachers whose salaries have not been paid since 2012. So I believe they are now trying to get the actual figure of teachers who have not been paid from the district. I pray something good comes out of this. Thanks for helping me. Thanks for giving me a platform. I'm grateful. Then, August 13, 2015, she sends me another email. Bernard, I still haven't been paid, and it's almost 3 years since she was employed, 2012. Then, 6:54 a.m. today, she sends me an email. Bernard, I have still not been paid my salaries from 2012 to 2016. Attached are receipts of an earned salary that I was made to pay. Meanwhile, what I earned has still not been paid. If you remember, I called into your program 1st May and complained that I had not been paid, but still not a penny. And then she sends the attachments. I'm not going to read the attachments, but it's very clear. One is a yellow document and one is a white paper. I have a few more like this. Vincent, I mean, you're saying, well, you've paid 90,000, 30,000 out of 300,000, so they shouldn't strike. But if you haven't been paid for work done since 2012 to 2016, that's 4 years. Even if you are paid 500 cedis a month, imagine how you're going to look after your family, how you're going to look after yourself. Imagine how much debt you'd be in. If you look at it from a human point of view, it's very serious. That for 4 years, so even if 10 people have not been paid, I mean, it's serious. It's very serious. And this person has been sending me emails since 2014, and I'm not even government.
Bernard, now who goes up?
Are you asking me or you are telling me?
Because what you just read is not out of the ordinary. It is simply because it is part of the 30,000 that is already in contention that we are talking about. And I make this point because for us, I can speak from 2017 to 2019. Maybe you could let us know the 2012 and 2016, how or why these allowances were not paid. If they are indeed legacy arrears, this debt has been bequeathed to us in 2017. Now, from 2017 to date, if we have been able to pay about 90% of them.
What formula are you using to pay? Are you paying, because for example, this woman was employed in 2012. So I'm guessing if you were using first in, first out, then those who have a longer period of arrears would have been paid first. Is there any formula, or you're just paying based on those you clear?
He mentioned one thing. He said that it is normal practice or is convention that Controller and Accountant General's Department, after they are done with their auditing, sends the information to what? The Ghana Education Service or the management of the Ghana Education Service to also do their review. So until those documents come from Controller and Accountant General's Department, and I indicated to you that on the 9th of November, the data that we received from the Controller and Accountant General Department was about 1,847 staff of the Ghana Education Service. So we only work with information or data that has been given to us from the Controller and Accountant General Department after they have been able to do their auditing.
But he said from the 15th of November, when Controller has some data, some of the data was okay in terms of people's records, some were not. And within that period and now, no payment has been made. So it's GES that's refusing to pay, even though some have been cleared by their controller. I think this is what you said.
Yes.
So if you are working with controller, people who from 9th November have had their information cleared should have been paid by now. Based on the agreed roadmap.
The point that he made was that since 2012, 2016, we owed 120,000 people. And I also agree to that point. And I'm also saying that since 2017 till now, we have paid 90,000 of those teachers or these staff.
You've cleared all the arrears.
We've cleared all the arrears. But the point is that after clearing all these arrears, the rest that we are supposed to pay, indeed we need to do validations before we can pay. And we need time to do those validations.
Do you have the money? Do you have the money to pay? Or is it that government has have money again? Is the money finished?
You see?
Or you have money?
You see, if data...
Oh, they have money. They have money.
If data...
They have money.
How do you know?
Oh, they have money.
If data
that
is
money
coming
has
from...
been ring-fenced.
Oh, so the money is there.
The money is there. It's only GS which is
Which is slow.
But you see,
do you have the money?
Bernard, the review is what is making government save about 11 million Ghana cedis.
you see.
What do you mean? Are you saying that if you hadn't done that, you would have paid non-existent people?
Absolutely.
How many? To the tune of 11 million cedis.
As at 2nd December, when GES met the teacher unions, we had about 500 people out of the 1,874 who were having these anomalies. That a woman...
What type of anomaly are you talking about?
A woman or a female teacher who will be paid or who will be allotted to be paid arrears on the fact or on the basis that that female teacher was or is a night watchman.
Oh, that could be a typo.
Are you serious?
That could be a typo.
So
As
now,
in,
the
description of her work
yes,
is a night watchman.
Absolutely.
And yet it's a woman.
And that is not alone. That is not the only one. Two, there are some teachers who are not having any data or whatsoever at all with the Ghana Education Service.
We don't know who they are.
You don't
but
know who they are.
They presented a name.
If you want to tell me that ghost name, that's fine.
But would that be from the side of the teachers or the controller or the GES? Who would be responsible for presenting this night watchman person?
Submitted to the Ghana Education Service.
By these guys?
No, by the Controller Accountant General Department.
Would contain such things?
Yes.
So GES would not...
And there are some teachers who are paid via undeserved ranks. Because you see a teacher who is at principal superintendent, and the arrears that is paid that particular teacher or that staff is assistant director or director one.
So there are quite a lot of anomalies.
Absolutely.
There
are some people that we are even going to pay more.
Let me just run another email before. Good morning, Bernard. Again, I got this in the morning. It's been a while. Talking about arrears, I was promoted in 2014 to the grade of senior superintendent. And the whole of 2015, nothing was paid to me. Then in 2016, they paid 3 months. And up to date, the rest is arrears. Our leadership is embarking on strike, and what is GES talking about? How can you owe somebody for these years of number of years and you come and tell me a cock and bull story that female teachers have applied for night watchman allowance? This is from Remus something. I have sent you my promotion letter for your perusal. And then he sends it as an attached promotion to grade of senior superintendent. The name is there, registration number is there, staff ID is there, copy to the director general and all those kinds of things, signed by some East Akim Municipal District Chief Executive. You're going to respond to what you're saying.
Yeah, Bernard, you see, I'm not too sure whether he's abreast with the issues.
You think so?
You see,
You don't think he's abreast with the issues?
You see, what we are talking about, there are some people who were on senior subtenant 2, but they have had promotions. Some had even gone to further studies and they have come with the first degree and therefore they have been pushed on to principal subtenants and other things. And what we are talking about is a period of about 4 years. So definitely you at a certain point in time, you find somebody with a senior subtenant. Now you come and find the same person with principal subtenant. It doesn't mean that the person has not been promoted or upgraded.
No, but if you are paying the person with the latter position, that is where the anomaly is.
How can they pay with the latter position?
You just said that the person was principal superintendent.
Yes, I am, and I'm
and
saying
now
that.
he's principal superintendent 1.
He
If
has
you pay
both-
the person with the arrears with principal
see,
superintendent 1,
please hold
then
on,
you are
please-
paying with the
please
latter
hold on,
position
please
or
hold
the
on.
latter rank that
Please
is given
hold
to the
on,
person.
hold on. If a person finishes the colleges of education and then he comes, he's recruited, he's first of all put on, senior subtenant 2 grade. Right, good. So if for about 24 months the person has not been paid, then after 2-3 years he gets promotion to principal subtenant. You see that gap from principal senior subtenant 2 is on level 14. Principal subtenant is level 16.
Yes.
So the gap is huge. So if you move on to about 8 or 10 months or 12 months after, the salary just goes. From the system, you will find that he is on senior subtenant grade, then he's again on principal subtenant. You would think that it's a fraud, but he has been upgraded.
No, that's not
So
the point.
is it their misunderstanding
That's not the
of
point.
the way your
it's-
system is?
it's-
Because you're saying that they would have
it's
paid
their-
11 million.
Which
see,
system is he
it's-
talking about?
He's just
it's- no,
explaining
it's
why.
The
No.
point he's making, he's mixing it.
Me missing the point I'm making.
Hold on. This is the point. If somebody was recruited at the point of senior superintendent, and that person is supposed to be paid arrears based on the qualification of senior superintendent, and you submit data to the Ghana Education Service and only find the current rank as principal superintendent, then that is where the problem is. Because at the time that you are supposed to be paid the arrears, you were not principal superintendent.
And I'm saying that the
But
person
the
has
arrears
moved
is for
on.
a promotion.
And
We
the-
agree.
And the
So
principal
definitely you
subtenant
can't
one
be
also-
paying somebody arrears for a promotion up to the same position. Do you understand? If I'm in class 2, and when I was in class 1, you didn't pay me.
Yes.
If I bring a letter that shows I'm in class 2,
Yes.
you should know that you are paying me for things I did in class 1.
Yes.
So there shouldn't be any confusion there.
But from 2014,
Yes.
for example, if I'm supposed to pay you at a rank of senior superintendent,
Yes.
2014 to 2015, you have not gotten to the rank of principal superintendent, 1. And yet, you expect that if I'm paying you arrears from 2014 to 2015, I should pay you the current rank that has been submitted to the Ghana Education Service, which is principal
No,
superintendent.
but they don't. I think that if you submit a claim, based on what I know,
Yes.
your current position is on the claim. But
Yes.
that's why they attach letters. Like all the
Exactly.
people who have sent me emails have attached letters of appointment and letters of promotion.
see-
So if you see Bernard Avle, principal superintendent 1,
Yes.
he was initially employed in 2012
Yes.
as an assistant, whatever. Then he attaches a letter of promotion to show you that between 2012 and 2014, this is the position that he was occupying. So even though on the face of it, I'm in this new position, the arrears is based on the difference in the old position. I think that's pretty clear.
Well, I don't understand it that way. What I understand this to mean is that teachers who are paid undeservedly because
There's no
ranks,
body in
the
that.
ranks,
Allow.
I'm telling you.
No, you go on. Just talk.
I'm telling you about the validations or the verifications that have been done by the Ghana Education Service. And I'm saying to you, I'm suggesting to you that there are some teachers who are paid at a rank that they don't deserve.
And whose fault is that? Because
I'm
teachers
telling
don't,
you,
they don't pay themselves.
No,
now.
I'm telling you that these are data. Unless, of course, you want to
From the controller.
From the controller accountant.
So does government have a problem with controller?
Which the Ghana Education Service Management will have to do that review. It is through that review because it is not for no reason that the Ghana Education Service is mandated to do that.
No, but
review.
his point is that on November 9,
yes,
the documents presented, some people had no problem. So even if you are doing a review, the people who have no problem, you should pay them.
So are you saying that, for example, if there is no financial clearance for that, government should go and seek for financial clearance for 500 people?
You see, that issue we have dealt with long ago. That issue about financial clearance. Bernard, we were in this country when the issue started. They sent BNI to go round, and all the people were investigated. And they found out that they were really recruited, they were at school, and they were performing their normal duties. So the BNI brought the report. Then the onus was on government to pay them.
So their suspicion was unfounded.
So
exactly.
But is he saying that
the
BNI report is enough to pay all these teachers? Then why then you have
talking about a specific group of teachers now?
Okay. We're talking about those people that you claim were not in the system. And I'm saying that for those people, BNI went around to do that kind of job.
But how does a woman have the description of night watchman on her form?
But I mean, I want to believe that that could be a typo.
But even if it was, it's created by the controller side.
It could either be created by either GS themselves or Ghana Audit Service. Because initially when they were doing the Ghana Audit Service were doing the work, it was GS who were keying in the data, and the Ghana Audit Service will then assess the data and then work on those.
Bernard, what it means is that the question should have been that. So it means that somebody will be paid unduly.
Oh,
where did you get 11 million CDs from? You say that if you hadn't
there were some teachers who had no data with the GES, yet they were credited with about 58,000.
This was what I was talking about.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How many teachers?
Well, I'm unable to put figures to it.
Yet you are saying 11 million CDs
absolutely
would have been paid to people who were not.
Absolutely. Who did
who
not
gave you that
deserve
number? Where do you get that number from?
I work with the Ministry of Education, and Bernard, you're asking me this question.
No, I'm just trying. So is this from controller?
He sat on this platform to say that by convention, there's a review that is done by the management.
I'm saying that yes.
Every time that the controller and Accountant General Department brings those
listen.
And we have done our review, and we are saying that if not by virtue of the due diligence that we made at the GES office, government would have been paying in excess of about.
So if you have done the due diligence, why are you not paying?
Hold on, because we are not done. Because your assertion, you believe that within 2 or 3 days we should be able to be done.
Please, that's thing was given to you on the 9th.
Hold on, that we should be able to finish with.
This thing was given to you on the 9th.
It's something that I'm finding very difficult to understand.
I think you are missing something. The teachers are frustrated.
I understand. We agree, and we
don't
know
forget
that indeed they are supposed to be paid, but. You don't come to the negotiation table with a precondition.
Please, this one, we are not negotiating anything.
See, the point
you don't understand negotiation. No, what are we negotiating for?
Hold on.
You owe me, pay me, you say we are negotiating. What are we negotiating for?
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. You said we owe you, right?
Yes.
You said we owe you.
So pay me.
Why do you go for a strike? When you know that government is already engaging you. Is that not the negotiation?
In September,
if you are engaging, is that not negotiation?
And we came out with a roadmap.
So you've already agreed
to pay them, of course,
based on the roadmap, but you are not following it.
You are not following it.
No. You see, he said that. He said that you was not part of the 2nd of December meeting, and in that 2nd of December meeting, which is just last week, we told them that these anomalies will have to be dealt with, which they agreed, and we told them that we are going to pay them
as far back as 15th of November. They have called me to inform me that there were anomalies, and then I said, fine, I don't have a problem with that. Segregate the anomalies, pay the rest. Then later we can interrogate the anomalies.
So it means that the 2nd December
then you hold on from 15th of November up to 2nd. You call me and then you still inform me that you still have anomalies.
Against a dry Christmas already.
The
Christmas is already looking dry.
The arrest, the other part, the second batch of the arrest that they themselves have created, that one they have not even worked on at all. That you tell me that there was a lady who is a
so there was unanimity among the unions that you had to go on strike.
Yes.
NAGRAT, CCT, NAT.
Exactly.
And that with effect from 5th December.
No, the press conference I think was held on 5th or so. The effective date is today.
So your strike has started today?
Yes.
Across the country? This is from Nursery to pre-tertiary.
From there's pre-tertiary.
Well, we did a report in one of the schools in the Western region to check out how the strike was going. It doesn't appear as if people are leading to your strike.
No, as for strike,
so let's just...
It's like a bushfire.
No, I want to give you a quick...
Strike is like...
failed to convince their followers.
A quick video of the strike, I think from the Western region or so. So let's watch it. We'll come back here.
Strike is like a bushfire.
The three teacher unions, namely NAGRAT, NAT, and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, CCT, declared the strike on Friday, which effectively commenced on Monday, December 9. The teachers say this action is to demand the payment of salary arrears, which they refer to as a legacy debt that has existed since 2012. However, the intention was met with disapproval by the Ghana Education Service and the Education Ministry, which said the teachers were acting in bad faith. City News' visit to some schools on day one of the strike showed that it had not taken full effect in all schools. At the Kimbu Senior High Technical School, the Form 3 students were writing their end-of-semester exams, while the others were having classes. The headmistress of the school, who spoke off camera, says although the school is in support of the strike, they had to take this decision in the interest of the students. At the Laboni Senior High School, the students had just finished writing their exams for the day. The school authorities, however, confirmed they had received a communique from the three teacher unions to boycott the strike. At the St. Thomas Aquinas Senior High School, the situation wasn't different as students there had also finished writing their exams. Despite the slow start to the strike, the three teacher unions say they will not be forced to back down until their demands are met. The teacher unions on Monday morning held the first meeting with the National Labour Commission, the Ministry of Employment and Finance, but couldn't reach a consensus. The meeting is, however, expected to continue on Tuesday.
We met today. I have been in the meeting throughout. I just arrived. And they gave us options of paying the money. And therefore, what is the guarantee that this time round, that one will be kept? So we told them that, well, all the options they've given us, we will come and consult. And then we'll get back to them.
Also commenting on the circulation of a communique asking teachers to return to the classrooms, the General Secretary of NAT asked teachers to ignore it and be resolute in their action.
The three teacher unions, NAT, NAGRAT and CCT, say they will not rescind on their decision to continue with their strike action, which began today, until their grievances are addressed. Reporting for City News, my name is Kweku Eduama Ansah.
So that was Kweku Ansah's report. I have a lot of your comments on the strike. And also, it doesn't appear as if teachers are adhering to the strike. I'm going to ask Mr. Kwashi why his members don't seem to be interested. He says it's like a bushfire. We'll be right back with those. Stay with us.
The Bank of Ghana has introduced a new coin. It's a 2 Ghana cedi coin to facilitate business and ease pressure on the lower denomination banknotes. The new coin has a 10-sided bimetallic material with outer gold color and inner silver color. The front image is the Ghana coat of arms and the back image is the Jubilee House. It has a latent image on the front which changes from the numeral 2 to a star when tilted. At the back is the small lettering of Ghana 2 cedi in the gold area. Accept the coins and use them.
Welcome back to the point of view. Here are some of your comments. Good evening, Bernard. Vincent Sifwa should know how to talk, not to inflame passion. Why is he talking like the teachers didn't provide any service and they are demanding these monies? I don't blame him since he's protecting what he's chopping and also waiting for end of service benefit next year. If he's paid as a teacher, he won't be talking like this. Copperfield at Pokwasi. Good evening, Bernard. We are pleading with our hardworking teachers to please reconsider their strike action and go back to see our children. I must also add that the response by the sector minister saying the strike by the unions is politically motivated is irresponsible and must be condemned. Cephas from Damsoma. Did the minister say that? Ben, good evening. Does the MOE/GES have any evidence that a political party is behind the strike? Where is the solidarity of members in the union? Just pay the teachers and let's forge ahead. It's about time we solve more problems than talking. This is from Wisdom in Peje. Abdullah Hamidu in Sunyai. Ben, good evening. It's good teachers are paid what is due them. Government must be ready to pay. Prince Henry Kofredia, good evening. It's sad this government only thinks about free SHS in terms of education and not the plight of the teacher. Instead of the minister telling the teachers something that will convince them to go back to the classroom, he rather prefers insulting the attendants by saying NDC is behind the strike. I'm begging the teachers to go back to the classroom while they reconsider the negotiations. More comments. Miftao from Tamale. It's important we take good care of our teachers and give them respect they deserve. Government must be proactive to settle the matter. Bernard, I'm a teacher and a victim of these 3-year salary arrears. Since 2014, I've not been paid. So we heard we should come to ministry in Accra to validate. We came all the way from Akontombra district to Accra, only to queue day after day. Our particulars were taken and nothing. The monies didn't come. More comments. All right, so it doesn't seem as if your members responded to the call for strike that enthusiastically, at least based on our visits. Is it that they don't want to mess up their Christmas, or the message hasn't gone down? Or
I'm not too sure. Possibly they have not heard about it. But you see, normally, strike is like a bushfire. You start gradually.
Is this the theory of strike?
No, and as this rule by, then you see that, it will be gathering momentum.
Really?
Sometimes it's even when we have called off the strike, that some people even, now that we have heard, so we are also going on strike. So it happens like that.
Do you have meetings with them? How do you declare the strike? You send text messages? You
call them? We have declared the strike here. Using
this press conference.
Then now we are using the social media as well.
Now we are on messages.
Strike. I myself, I'm even on a platform. I will have to send possibly tomorrow message to all of our members.
So those who don't have any problem will also not go and work. So just sitting at home.
If you don't have a problem. Strike is a solidarity issue.
But if you look at all the reforms going into the educational sector, free SHS, we have double track. Our calendar is very important to manage. You're going to really cause problems if this strike persists.
You see, the controller has done what is right. They have given the data to GES for a review. Assuming this was the main salary that they were paying, would they have delayed up to this point? What kind of analysis are they doing? That 1 month after they have received the data from controller, they can't do what is right. Then all that you are saying is that there are anomalies.
Why are you inflaming passions? I haven't heard your minister say this, but some of my viewers are saying the minister claims the strike is politically motivated. And people have repeated that here. Isn't that throwing petrol in the fire?
Bernard, in the absence of substance, in the absence of cogent reasons why teacher unions should be calling for a strike, in the absence of convincing reasons for teachers to call a strike, especially in trying to rally support from its followers, what else could be the motivation? Bernard.
You are endorsing the position of your minister.
No, the point I'm telling you,
he has endorsed.
The point I'm making is that when I started my submission, I told you that the strike that has been declared by the teacher unions is most unfortunate.
But that's not the same as saying that it's politically motivated.
No, I'm just telling you that if there are no substance and there are no basis to the strike calling, what else could be the motivation?
So political.
It's your answer.
You see, if you go on to that tangent.
Hold on.
If you go on to that tangent.
When you're making a point I didn't speak. In the absence of that, you can have your own conclusions. But the point I want to make from where I sit is that teacher unions have an onerous responsibility to think about the future of our children who are in school, who are our young ones, who are our children, who are our brothers, who are our sisters, who needs to be taught by no fault of theirs. They go to school only to find out that teachers are not in the classroom. did the teacher unions really think about all these repercussions, or they did not? Whilst we agree and we also accept that indeed the allowances or the arrears owed them are supposed to be paid, and indeed we owe them, the only solution for us, if we want to be patriotic enough in approaching this issue, is to come to the table without any precondition or without any decision that you expect that without that there's no decision. Because there seems to be a position from the teacher unions that because the Controller and Accountant General Department have submitted data to the management of GES and it has taken a month to be able to vet it, then it means that it is an intention on the part of the management of Ghana Education Service, or better still, the lack of the human resource to be able to do the vetting as early as possible so that they would be paid. Because he put it simply, why don't you pay them? Why don't you pay them? And that's how he put it. But forgetting that indeed the right things are supposed to be done. He should be happy. He should be applauding us for saving this state 11 million Ghana cedis that were supposed to be paid or that were going to be paid to undeserved people.
So you see an invisible hand. You see an invisible hand behind it.
I'm
But there are three
surprised
teacher unions.
you are going back to that.
No, I'm just surprised that you endorse that view. Because I thought
Bernard,
that you have NAGRAT, you have NAT, you have CCT.
Bernard, I have not said anything here. All that I told you is that, for me, I think that the statement from the teacher unions is not strong enough to warrant for a strike.
Great. So let's wrap up. You have a meeting tomorrow. The Labour Commission has invited you. You will go, right?
Yeah, I don't know. There was... I really don't know. I have not seen the invitation.
Well, there was a meeting today, of course.
So, what will convince you to end the strike?
It's just the payment.
Of how many people?
No,
they've paid 90,000.
Listen,
and you have already
Bernard,
said that.
Is it Bernard?
Yes.
Bernard.
So they should pay all the 30,000.
So are we sitting down here and saying that nobody can ask GL to do what is right?
See, they have their decision in their pocket.
So for you,
please don't
think that the process we are going to see will reach. I mean, you've already admitted that.
How, if you are going to take 1 month to vet 1,800, you claim, which one will we dispute?
So let's wait till Christmas.
That you are going
Why
to
don't you
pay.
wait till Christmas?
And you have already said that we have 500 of them which have issues. So what prevents you from paying the rest?
The 1,003.
The 1,003. Then you allow us to come to this stage.
So what? If they paid the 1,300 while they work on the 500, you go back to your work?
Exactly.
So you to pay them.
That was not the point. The point was that as at the time we met them, hold on, as at the time we met them, we had seen 500 out of what we have done. You get the point. It doesn't mean that we are not even
So if you are not completed, how do you conclude on it?
Not at all.
Because you have a double track system that has a very clear calendar.
It is not in our interest. It is not in their interest. It is not also in the interest of the children. All of us have a role to play. The fourth estate of the realm, which is the media, should be encouraging or should be admonishing them.
Okay.
That they shouldn't come to the table with their own decision.
Okay, so let me do my work. Pay them. Go back to work. End of discussion. Thank you for your time. I've been talking to Vincent Asifua, Head of Public Relations, Ministry of Education, and Ahina Kwakwashi, Head of Compensation and Working Conditions, NAT. Thank you for watching. Stay with City TV. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on City TV's YouTube channel. Subscribe for more videos on The Point of View. My name is Bernard Avile. Thank you.